today's class. Nana. Good morning, students. Good morning to all of you. Yes. So today we are going to discuss about stationary waves, how they will perform, these all things. Nana. Okay. Yes. So in a previous class, we have discussed yeah. I'll complete. Nana. I'll take extra class and I'll complete. Okay. Yes. See, in last class, we have discussed one point. That is a progressive wave is mathematically represented as y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx. This minus indicates wave is traveling towards positive x-axis, and y is equal to a sine omega t plus kx. This equation represents wave is traveling towards negative x-axis. Okay, remember these two equations. Plus and minus sign difference will tell you whether it is moving towards positive x-axis or negative x-axis. Here between these two, minus sign is there means it is moving towards negative x-axis. Plus sign is there means it is moving towards negative x-axis. It is moving towards positive x-axis. Clear? Okay. Now, see, one wave is there. Okay. And this wave pulse, let us suppose here see one wave is traveling like this, transverse wave, imagine. Okay, when it is traveling like this, when any one boundary surface comes across this wave, what happened? Wave, it will reflect back. Okay, as how you learn in a 10th class, reflection of light, same as it is, these waves will reflect back. So when they are reflecting back, sometimes their phase will change, or sometimes phases will not change. Why it will change, why it will not change, let us discuss first. Okay, see here, when waves are incident on a boundary between two media, a part of incident waves return back into the initial medium, while remaining part are absorbed and partly transmitted into second medium. Some part will be reflected, some part will be, see here, when wave is incident on a boundary, some part will be reflected like this, some part of the wave energy will be absorbed, and some part of the wave energy will transmitted into the second medium. Okay, now here, depending upon whether the ray is transmitting, and when it is transmitting, whether it will bend or not, these all things. There are two types of mediums are there. They are called as rarer medium and denser medium. Okay, what is rarer medium? Rarer medium is nothing but medium in which speed of wave is more. Denser medium is a medium in which speed of wave is less. Okay, like this we need to define. Okay, see in your 10th class you have studied that air is rarer medium, whereas water is denser medium. But it is not true for all the waves. That is true for only for light rays. But for sound waves, imagine in which medium, air and water, in which medium sound will travel more faster? Water sound will travel more faster. So water will be the rarer medium. Are you understanding? Rarer medium is nothing but a medium in which wave speed is more. Denser medium is the medium in which wave speed is less. Yes. See here, the medium is said to be denser if the speed of wave in this medium is less. Denser medium is speed of a wave in that medium is less. Okay. Yes. In comparison to air, speed of sound is maximum in water. Hence, water is rarer medium for sound waves. But it is not true for light. For light, air is the rarer medium. But for sound waves, water is the rarer medium. Reason is, a medium is said to be denser if its speed is less, if the wave speed is less. Clear? So medium can be differentiated into two two different categories. One is rarer medium and another one is denser medium. This differentiation depends upon speed of a wave. Either it is light rays, light wave, or sound waves, or anything. I'm talking about wave. Okay. If speed of a wave is more in a particular medium, then that medium is called as rarer medium. If speed of sound means speed of wave is less in a particular medium compared to other, then that medium is called as denser medium. Okay, na? Clear? This point you need to remember. Okay. Next, see here few points how this wave is reflecting, transmitting. They have shown. Okay. Okay. Next. One more point, Nana. See, boundary conditions are important while discussing about the reflection of a waves. Okay, reflection of a wave pulse from some boundary depends upon nature of the boundary, whether that boundary is a rigid boundary or free boundary. Boundary two types: rigid boundary like this or free boundary like this. Means rigid boundary means nothing but fixed wall, like one fixed wall. See here, you can see this wall. Okay, now on this wall, when wave is incident, how it will reflect? Let us see. See, for example, this is a rigid wall. For this wall, one rope is tied. Okay. Now that end where it is tied, it cannot move up and down. Okay. Now let us suppose one jerk you generate in that wire. Okay. So this jerk, it will travel like this in forward direction. So when it will travel, when it hit this rigid wall, what it will do? It will exert some force on the wall. At the same time, this wall also will exert some force in downward direction, reaction force. So due to that reason, this pulse will become down and it will travel like this. So after some time, if you observe this pulse, it will appears to be traveling like this. By changing its totally phase, why it is going? It is going like this. While reflecting from a rigid boundary, it will be coming like this. See my hands. It will be coming like this. Means its total phase is changed. Okay, this is the important point you need to remember. Okay, so when incident wave was reach a fixed end, it exerts an upward pull on the end. According to Newton's law, the fixed end exerts an equal and opposite downward force on the string. It results in inverted pulse of or phase change of pi. Okay, so this will become like this. Phase change of pi will there. Pi will be there. Pi angle phase change will be there. So this type of pulse will become like this and it will travel like this. It is going like this, and after reflection it will be going like this by a phase change of pi. Means crest will become trough and trough will become crest for a fixed boundary. Okay, remember this point. Whenever a wave reflected from a rigid boundary, rigid wall, then there will be a phase change of pi angle. How much angle phase change will be there? Pi angle phase change will be there. Remember this point. And how we can say this from these examples? Whenever a wave is reflected from a rigid wall, there will be a phase change of pi. Okay, students? Okay, remember this point, important point. Okay, now when wave is reflected from a free support, what happened? See, so let us imagine this is a wall. For this wall, one ring is placed here like this. One ring is placed. See this here, this example. Okay, when a pulse is generated here, what happened? Anna? This is moving in forward direction. So when it will reaches this free end, when it will reaches this ring, what happened? That ring totally it will move down. Again, it will go up. Means after reflection, this pulse will not change its phase. How it is going, same as it is, it will reflect back. Means freely it can move up and down because there is no action reaction force. So phase of the pulse will not change from a free end. Remember this point. Means no phase change. When a wave is reflected from a free phase, free end, there is no phase change. Whereas when a wave is reflected from a rigid end, there will be a phase change of pi. Two important points you need to remember. So whenever a wave is reflected from a rigid end, there will be a phase change of pi. Whenever a wave is reflected from a free end, no phase change, no phase change, no change of phase. You need to remember this. 2 points are important for upcoming points, upcoming derivation. Okay, remember. But there is one exception is there. There is one exception is there, and this exception point is very important. So what is that exemption? And that exemption is for sound waves. Important point. Imagine sound waves. Sound waves are what type of waves? They are longitudinal waves, longitudinal pressure waves. Okay. So see, let us imagine this is a rigid support. This wall you can see, no? See my video. Okay, this wall you can see. Now, so sound waves are traveling, means longitudinal waves are traveling. How they will travel? Like this, they will travel. Okay, compression, rarefaction, compression, rarefaction, compression, rarefaction. Like this, it will travel. So when this longitudinal waves, means compression and rarefactions, they will hit that wall. Again, compression, when it will hit, compression only will reflect. When rarefaction hits, rarefaction only will reflect. This is assumption for waves. Means for longitudinal waves, the two for longitudinal waves only, not for transverse wave. This will happen only for longitudinal waves. Okay, for longitudinal waves or pressure waves suffers no change in phase from rigid end. That is, compression pulse reflect as compression pulse only. If it is a live class, means direct class is there, means I can show with one demonstration. Anna. Okay. On the other hand, if longitudinal pressure waves reflected from free end, from a free end, if it reflect, then there is a phase change of pi. Clear what I said? Okay. This point, whatever we have discussed, this point, free end and these all things, rigid end, this is for transverse waves. This is for transverse wave, Nana. Means remember, when transverse waves reflect from rigid end, solid block, then a phase change of pi will be there. Whereas it will, if it reflect from free end, no phase change. Clear? Okay. Yes. See, I'll write and I'll show you. Okay. When a transverse wave reflect from rigid end, phase change will be there, that is equal to pi. Okay, whereas from free end, if it reflect, then phase change will be 0. Phase change plays an important factor, Nana. Okay, whereas when a longitudinal wave nothing but sound waves, if they reflect from rigid end, then phase change, sorry, I'll write down, phase change will be 0. Whereas if it reflect from free end, then phase change will be pi. Okay, these 2 points you need to remember. Clear, students? Just remember these 2 points, important points, these 2. Clear? Yeah, I think so you understood this point. Okay, na? Now, and this is about echo. This is about echo. It is not required, Nana. Not required. Not required. Now, important point: principle of superposition. Yes, this is important point. What is principle of superposition? Principle of superposition means what? Yes, you need to remember this, and this is very important concept. In secondary also, so many times it will repeat. Okay, principle of superposition. What is the meaning of principle of superposition? See, Principle of superposition is nothing but, let us imagine here there is one wave traveling like this and another wave is traveling like this. When these two waves superimpose on each other, mix each other, then resultant wave is nothing but sum of these two waves displacement. Okay, see, the displacement at any time due to number of waves meeting simultaneously at one point in a medium is vector sum of individual displacement due to each of the waves at that point. Means, let us suppose one pulse is traveling like this. Okay, now let us suppose another pulse is traveling like this. Okay, this displacement is y1, this displacement is y2. If they meet each other, okay, when they meet each other, their resultant displacement will become y is equal to y1 plus y2, means according to vectors. This is called as principle of superposition. Okay, you what resultant displacement will become y1 plus y2. For suppose if the pulses are traveling like this, let us suppose one pulse is traveling like this, another pulse is out of phase. When they superimpose on each other, resultant wave will become 0. Means resultant wave will become y1 minus y2, like that. Means this addition should be vector addition. According to phase we should add. Okay, means if y1, y2, y3 are the displacements at a particular time at a particular position, then due to individual waves, then resultant displacement is given as y is equal to y1 bar plus y2 bar plus y3 bar and so on. How many are there? That many. Means according to principle of superposition, the resultant displacement of all individual waves displacement is equal to some vector sum of individual displacements of the waves. Definition, remember, from this definition only you will get so many concept, related concept. In this year, this topic you will get. Next year, second year, in current electricity you will get electric charges and field, you will get alternating current, you will get waves chapter, wave optics chapter will be there. There also you will get 3 to 4 chapters, you will get this phenomena, this principle you will get. Okay, remember this simple, it is very simple. Okay, if y1, y2, y3 and so on, yn, different displacements of waves are there, and if all that waves are superimposed on each other, superimpose means meet at a particular point at a particular time, then resultant displacement is given as y1 bar plus y2 bar plus y3 bar and so on, yn bar, vector sum of all the displacement due to individual waves. That is called as principle of superposition. And from this principle of superposition points, we will have interference of waves. Interference of waves is nothing but when two waves are mixed with each other, then resultant intensity will be maximum sometimes and minimum sometimes. Means energy of a waves will redistribute. That phenomena we call it as interference. And about this interference we will discuss in second PU. Very important topic, this one, interference. You'll get 5 marks question and objective points also on this. Okay, we will not discuss about this interference now. We will discuss about formation of stationary waves and formation of beats this year. Okay, these 3 points are applications of principle of superposition, Nana. I think so you are understanding what I am saying. What is principle of superposition and what are their applications? This second application and first application we will discuss this year only. Now itself we will discuss. Okay, now how standing waves or stationary waves will form. Let us discuss that point. Standing waves or stationary waves will form. Let us discuss that point now. Students, are you understanding what I am saying? Okay. Now see, now see, for suppose here, sorry, let us suppose here one rigid end is there, let us suppose. Okay, fixed end is there. Okay, for this fixed end Let us suppose one rope is attached like this. Okay, na? Now let us create one pulse on this. Let us create one pulse here like this. One jerk. Let us give. What happened? This pulse will travel like this. After some time, it will appear like this. Correct? After some time, it will appear to travel like this. Yes or no? Are you understanding? So after some time, it may go here like this. Finally, it will reflect back like this. Just now I said, because it is a rigid end, and this is a transverse wave. Vibrations are perpendicular to wave propagation. Phase change will be there. Okay. Now this pulse will travel like this in backward direction. Correct. Now when this pulse and this pulse, when they superimpose on each other, we will get one resultant, means continuously if you do like this, continuously if you continuously give pulse to that string, ultimately you will get this type of structure. You will get this type of structure. You try to do this one in your home. Okay, like this loops will form. Means let us imagine you and your friend are standing and you are holding one rope in your hand, big rope, and try to give pulses both of them in opposite direction. Then after some time, if you observe this wire, it will appear in the form of loops like this. Okay, clear students? Yes, it will appear in the form of loops like this, like this, like this. Loops will form. These are nothing but standing waves. Why they are called as standing waves? Because these waves, they cannot transfer energy from one place to another place. The energy will be restricted to that particular loop only, and it cannot travel from one loop to another loop. Okay, yeah. So that here it is written. I will explain you. Okay, now see, when two sets of progressive waves, traveling waves like this, one pulse traveling, okay, trains of same type, both in longitudinal or both in transfer, only one type. Okay, having same amplitude and same period or frequency or wavelength, traveling with the same speed along same straight line in opposite direction. If they superimpose on each other, a new set of waves are formed. Those waves are called as stationary waves. Just know whatever I have explained, that is only here. When two sets of progressive waves, both of same type, either in longitudinal or in transverse, having same amplitude, same frequency or wavelength, if they superimpose on each other, if they are traveling in opposite direction, superimpose on each other, a new set of waves will form, and those waves are called as stationary waves. Okay, in practice, stationary wave is formed when a wave train is reflected at a boundary. Whenever a wave train is traveling, and if it reflects from a boundary, a stationary wave will form. Okay, the incident and reflected waves then interpret to produce stationary waves. Okay, orally I said. Now mathematically, how they will form, let us see. Let us suppose here, see, rigid end. Okay, okay, one pulse I have created, and this pulse is traveling. How it is traveling? Towards positive x-axis. This positive x-axis, no? Yes, traveling. Okay, now this wave pulse, progressive wave, how can we write? We can write y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx. Clear? Okay, now after reflection, wave pulse phase change like this. Okay, okay, this first pulse, second pulse equation, a sine omega t plus kx. Are you getting? Because this wave is traveling towards negative x-axis. Negative x-axis means plus kx. Clear? Now, when these two waves superimpose on each other, according to principle of superposition, resultant displacement of these particles can be given as y1 plus y2 according to vector. Okay, yes, see, according to principle of superposition, y is equal to y1 plus y2 means the equation becomes, I'll write here, y is equal to a sine omega t minus kx plus a sin omega t plus kx. Correct? Yes, yes, yes. Now a take common, you will get sin omega t minus kx plus sin omega t plus kx. Clear? Na? Yeah. Now a is constant, keep it aside. Now it is in the form of sin c plus sin d. It is in the form of, this is total sin c, you would say sin c, and this total is, you take sin d. What is c here? Omega t minus kx. What is d here? Omega t plus kx. Are you understanding, students? Okay. Now what is sin c plus sin d, Nana? We know 2 sin c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2. Yes or no? Yes. Let us apply this concept, this formula to this. Okay. Yeah. So what is that one, Nana? 2 sin c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2. Correct? Yes. 2 into sin c value what, Nana? Omega t minus kx plus d value omega t plus kx by 2 cos c minus d by 2 omega t minus kx minus omega t minus kx, sorry, plus kx by 2 you will get. Okay. Plus kx minus kx cancel, minus omega t plus omega t cancel. Okay, you will get 2 sin omega t plus omega t, 2 omega t by 2 means you will get omega t cos minus kx minus kx minus 2kx by 2, 2 cancel, and cos of minus theta is cos theta we know. So finally you will get 2 sin omega t cos kx you will get. Yes. And a value is there again, so you can write 2a sin kx, 2a cos kx sin omega t. Did you understand what I say, what I am saying? Okay. Sorry. Yes. See, students, this point did you understand? Okay. Yes. You are saying, sir? Yes, we are understanding. Okay, good. No problem. Okay. Now, if reflection takes place from rigid end, now this reflection is taken place from free end, means no phase change. But if there is a phase change, then what happens? Then this sin omega t plus kx will become minus sin omega t plus kx, because extra phase change will be there. Still time 9 minutes is there. Yes. Today I'll take extra class. Okay. Time I will inform you through your WhatsApp group. Don't forget to join, Nana. Today I'll take extra class, and I think so. Biology are easy taking extra class today. Let it be. I'll inform you time through WhatsApp group. Okay. Today I'll finish this chapter. Okay. Okay. 1 o'clock. Huh? Is it okay? 1 o'clock, students? Mister is asking to take 1 o'clock. Is it okay for you? Okay then. I'll take extra class today at 1 o'clock. No problem. Yeah. So let us start. 4 p.m. math class is there. 1 o'clock I'll take. No problem. So I think so. This point is clear for you. Any doubt in this point, Nana? Any doubt in this point? 2a cos kx sin omega t. So one wave, that is a sin omega t minus kx, is traveling like this. Okay, from a rigid end. Let us imagine this is a rigid end. If a wave is reflect, it will change its phase by pi degrees. So second wave, this second wave will become a sine omega t plus kx, because it is traveling towards negative x-axis, plus pi also will be there. Omega t plus kx plus pi, extra phase difference will be there, because it is re reflected from rigid end. That's why. Okay, so if a reflection is taking place from rigid end, you will get a extra pi angle. We know sine pi plus theta is minus sine theta. Okay, so that's why y2 will become minus a sine omega t plus kx. So now you are having two equations, y1 and y2. So your resultant equation will become y is equal to y1 plus y2. So y is equal to y1 value a sine omega t minus kx, and y2 is minus a sine omega t plus kx. Aditi, she's asking, sir, why you took pi extra? I said no. Whenever a transverse wave reflect from a rigid end, extra phase will be there. Extra phase change will be there pi. That's why. Whenever a transverse wave reflect from a rigid end, extra phase change will be there pi. That's why. Okay. Due to that, it will become minus, and that minus I am showing you here. Now it will become y is equal to a sine of omega t minus kx minus sine of omega t plus kx. Okay, now you apply sine c minus sine d formula. Sine c minus sine d formula. Sine c minus sine d. What is the formula? Na? 2 cos c plus d by 2 sine c minus d by 2. This is the formula. If you apply this formula for this, you will get 2a sine kx cos omega t. So this is one equation which is reflecting from a free end. This one equation which is reflecting from a rigid end. These two equations you remember. Okay, free end is nothing but open end. Okay, now these two equations, they are not in the form of omega t minus kx. Omega t minus kx, omega t minus kx is not there. So they are not progressive waves. Whenever we are having a format like this, ax plus r minus bt, then only they are progressive wave. If this format is not there, means they are not a progressive wave, and these waves are called as stationary waves. Now in this wave, stationary wave, 2a sin kx is amplitude. You are having y is equal to 2a sin kx cos omega t. In this total thing is called as amplitude. It is y is equal to a cos omega t, we can say, because this is a function of time. Here the amplitude is nothing but 2a sin kx. Whereas in another equation, see this equation, y is equal to 2a cos kx sin omega t. In this equation, 2a cos kx will be amplitude. These two equations, this equation and this equation, represents stationary waves. Okay, now we need to search for boundary conditions, Nana. Okay, once you will get stationary waves, and what are the boundary conditions, where amplitude is maximum, where amplitude is minimum, these things we need to discuss. Okay, and these points I will continue in next class means at 1 o'clock. I'll take extra class at 1 p.m. So in that class, I'll continue these points, remaining points. Okay. Okay. Now this extra class, whatever I am taking, it is very important. If you miss this one, you cannot understand anything if you read. Okay. Bye.